Hello, welcome along to Racing to Win. This is Hong Kong's twice weekly preview show, and have we got a great meeting to preview at Sha Tin for you this coming Sunday. Joined on the panel today by Tom Wood and Nick Child. Nick, you're off the substitutes bench because Paul Lally just a little under the weather at the moment, so hopefully to have him back next week, but nice to have you in for a big day at Sha Tin on Sunday.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Mark. Obviously, we hope Paul gets well soon. And yeah, look, a huge day. 2 Group 1s. I mean, who doesn't get excited when Golden 60s turning up at the races? So, look, there's plenty at stake, and there's so much to look forward to. And obviously not forgetting the sprint, a super race, that one as well.
Master 8 looking to remain unbeaten. More on that soon. So with Paul not here, Tom, you are the keeper of the jackpots today, and you've got some information for us.
I do. There is a triple trio jackpot. Mark, races 4, 5 and 6, a jackpot of 1.8 million. So the estimated dividend there around 5 million. And there's also a jackpot for the second double trio in races 6 and 7, $1 million there. So that is also estimated at 5 million. So a couple to sink your teeth into there, including one of the Group 1 races as well.
Absolutely, and the meeting details is what we are going to have a look at now for the 10 races, and the first of which gets underway at the usual start time of 1 o'clock. We've got A-course racing and through until 5:45 local. The 2 races we're going to focus on: the Centenary Sprint Cup Race 3 at 2 p.m. and at 4:05 the Stewards Cup, where Golden 60 will try and equal the 17 straight wins held by Silent Witness. The third, though, the Centenary Sprint Cup, has Skyfield, of course, the Hong Kong Sprint winner last time. He's at the top of the book. Wellington has the cheek pieces on. Courier Wonder, he ran 3rd last time in the Hong Kong Sprint. We've got Stronger. He's coming off a trial win over Resolute. Computer Patch goes from the 1,000 up to the 1,200 metres. And Super Wealthy and Master 8, they both make their Group 1 debuts. And Master 8, of course, having won all of his starts 5 in a row. So, Nick, we do have a look at the speed map first of all, and what does it tell us?
Well, it tells us that Courier Wonder certainly likes to go forward, and that's usually the case with him. He's drawn 7, though, so he's just one from the outside in this smaller field. Computer Patch also will be some pace in the race, and Master 8, he's caught out there a little bit on a limb, along with Hot King Prawn.
Yeah, he certainly is. I think Computer Patch will lead this a lot here. He's got that speed, whether he's got any stamina left at the end. Wellington really should get the perfect run. It does look tricky for Master 8. Skyfield, no doubt he'll be back doing what he tried to do last start in the international sprint. He just got a saloon passage through. Managed to avoid all that trouble, so he'll be going back. But I think Computer Patch the likely leader here.
OK, so that's this year's race. The past winners, though, Tom, there they are on screen. Hot King Prawn back to try and win it again. This was his first Group 1 victory 12 months ago. It
was, and Zach Purton goes on board this time round. John Size, it's a race that he's dominated in the last 4 years, winning it, beat the clock with a grand horse. He was, and of course DB Pinnon. Prior to that, Penophobia was able to win for Tony Cruz back in 2017. But Hot King Prawn got his first Group 1 victory here last season.
Zach 7 rides on Hot King Prawn for 6 wins and a placing. They haven't teamed up for a while, but they will do so again in race number 3. Skyfield, it was an action-packed and in some stages tragic Group 1 that he won last time, the Hong Kong Sprint. He'll be looking to make it back-to-back Group 1s, and the man that pilots Skyfield is Blake Shin, who had a chat with Nick Child at Trackwork.
Blake, Skyfield back for more Group 1 glory this weekend. How is the good horse?
Yeah, look, he's very well. You know, his training's been terrific after his last run. He spent some time in Chung Fa and he came back, and I galloped him on the grass and he had a nice trial, and I couldn't be happier with how he's going into the weekend. He feels in tip-top order.
Just to touch upon that trial first off, Blake, obviously a good trial, beat the stablemate Sky Darcy. He looked to be in top form in that. Did that go to plan? Were you and the team very happy with the trial?
Yeah, look, Casper was really happy, and I was really happy with the horse. You know, the 1,200 metre trials on the dirt, they can go quite slow, and they went slow in the trial, and he wanted to get on with the job a bit early, so I just had to contain him, but he come back underneath me, and, you know, he quickened down really nicely, had a bit in hand, and I was just wrapped with how he felt, and yeah, I'm looking forward to what he can do on the weekend.
And that gallop on the, I think it was the 18th of January, he galloped. I mean, to the sort of the untrained eye, that looked very good as well. Yeah, Nick, he's going terrific. Like I say, he's an elite sprinter. I feel he's arguably one of the best in Hong Kong, and
yeah, hopefully he can, win this Group 1 on his merits on the weekend and prove that he's the best sprinter in Hong Kong.
Blake, he's been very lucky with the barriers. I mean, for a sprinter, you want to obviously go the shortest way round. He's drawn gate number 1 for the 6th time in his career. Small field, how do you envisage sort of the race playing out from the inside?
Yeah, it is an interesting race. Barrier 1, like for me, it's not ideal for a horse like Skyfield. He likes to settle back. You've got to rely on pace, and you have to rely on trying to get out. So I'd like to draw middle, that would be perfect, and then bring him to the outside like we won that 1400 metres at the back end of last season. That would be the perfect scenario. But barrier 1, like I say, we're relying on different variables to happen for us. But this race, I think they're going to go quick, and he's probably going to be in the last 3, and it's just a matter of trying to get out. But if it falls right for him, he's got the capacity to sprint really quickly, and if it does fall right, I think he's going to go very close.
And just going back to the point you made about the 1400 metres, is he a horse that's continuing to sort of mature nicely with age? I mean, he just seems to keep elevating his performances always.
He does. I still believe we haven't reached the ceiling with him. He's a quirky horse, and he's quite a rebellious type. And I think the more mature he gets, the more he's wanting to sort of come our way with his training and also his application to his racing. And that's just going to keep, enhancing his level, and I think he's got more upside to come.
Casper always described him, Nick, as a raw horse. He ran 4th at his debut at Happy Valley, but flew home with amazing sectionals, and he was always likely to develop into a Group 1 horse. He's now looking for back-to-back Group 1 victories.
He certainly is. Yeah, look, he's a super horse, isn't he? And the way he won the Hong Kong Sprint was super, really. And look, as Blake alluded to in that interview, he continues to progress, and they haven't reached the ceiling with him, Tom. So he's certainly one to watch, that's for sure.
Absolutely, and of course they tried those blinkers on him before the international sprint, and it was a complete disaster there at Sha Tin. Just got too keen and fired up, so it was a failed experiment there, but Casper got him right for the big day, and he prevailed, and I think he can do it again.
Absolutely, and his trial, as we saw in that replay, has been good. Now we're going to check out some of his opposition here, Tom. This is down the straight last time over the 1,000. This is the Bohemia Sprint Trophy, and you can't knock what Master 8's done, but he has to step up yet another level this week. Yeah, it's a big step up. He was a Group 3 winner here last start of the Bohemia Sprint Trophy. He was up on the speed. You can see he's got the ears pinned back. He's fighting hard here. It's just barrier 8, I feel, Nick, that makes it a bit tricky for him, where he sort of ends up in the run. At small field, there's a big chance he can get caught wide.
Yeah, there certainly is. I mean, look, it's not going to be easy from where he's drawn, and also on the figures. I mean, he's got a little bit to find. Let's not forget he's rated only 95. He's taken on some elite sprinters here. So, look, it's going to be his toughest test, but he's a very good horse. He's a profile graphic, Tom. He's not going to mind the step back to 1,200 metres, though.
No, because he's unbeaten in all of his runs over 1,200 metres, and when he has run over 1,200 metres, his last few he's had 5, 10 and 9, and he has been good enough to overcome barriers 10 and 9, so who's to say he can't overcome barrier 8 here?
We move on to the trial now of Wellington, Nick. Now, this is down the straight at Sha Tin. Golden 60s also in this trial. We'll focus on him later. Where do you see him at currently, Wellington?
Look, I see him as being able to bounce back, that's for sure. And I think on the back of this trial, look, it was very good. He wore the cheek pieces. He's going to wear them here for the first time as well. And I think if we see the real Wellington, Tom, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in a race like this.
Yeah, complete forget for him last start. Got completely poleaxed around the turn with that incident. It is interesting that Richard Gibson has decided to change the gear up, but he seemed to trial well with those cheek pieces on there.
His career wonder, Tom, he's had the habit of running around badly in the straight at his last few starts. And could the Prawn be the forgotten horse in this field?
Well, he potentially could be. Hot King Prawn, winner of this race last year. Zach hasn't ridden him race day since he won his first 6, including 5 in a row, going back to June of 2018 there for Hot King Prawn. He's gone to the line really nicely there. On Courier Wonder, he was on the cusp of making it. Was between him and Hot King Prawn, the two stablemates. But just Courier Wonder, he's trialled up okay since, but he just wants to do a few things wrong late in his races.
and stronger. Nick, this is him coming to the outside. He always trials well, but he might just be a half a level below the best Group 1 horses.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair comment, Mark, for sure. I mean, he's had five goes. This will be his fifth go, sorry. He's had 4 goes at Group 1 level, and he's always come up short. 5th in the Hong Kong Sprint. Look, again, he's trialled very well here, but I do think he's just a little bit below what's required.
And that is him trialling away in front of Resolute, winning it by about 3 lengths. All right, Tom, the first of the Group 1s. I think you've given us the hint already with Skyfield.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much between them though, Mark, Skyfield and also Wellington, but I will side with the Skyfield here. Did it last start and did it really well. Wellington, complete forget for him last start, so he has to be definitely respected here, certainly with that trial. Master 8, he's drawn in that little bit of an awkward draw of barrier number 8. Big step up for him, but I think he can certainly handle it. And Hot King Prawn, last year's winner of the race, stayed on pretty gamely, I thought, behind Skyfield last start in the international sprint. 1, 2, 8 and 4.
Yeah, I'm going to take Tom on here with Wellington against Skyfield. Again, I agree fully. There's not a great deal between them, but I just feel that trial with the cheek pieces was very good. If he can find his best form, which he's more than capable of doing, he can win this. Skyfield will run his race for sure. He is the benchmark. He did win the Hong Kong Sprint. Courier Wonder, I feel, is still developing, as we've seen in his races, and he can certainly play a part. And Master 8, look, toughest test so far, but I think on all-known form, he should be bang there. 2, 1, 3 and 8 for me.
That is the preview for the Centenary Sprint Cup, the first of the Group 1s. Off to a break here on Racing to Win. Back to preview Golden 60 and Co. right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. Just before we get on to race number 7, big Hong Kong Direct this week. Nick hosted the show and he caught up with Archie De Silva, who of course raced the Great Silent Witness, and he is the focus of racing on Sunday. Golden 60 trying to draw equal with him on 17 straight wins. You can go to hkjc.com and click on audio and video and find the HK Direct tab. On to race number 7. It is the Stewards Cup over the 1600 metres. And there he is at the top of the book. Golden 60 draws barrier number 1, aiming for that 17 in a row. More than this, he's got close to him once or twice, including a second behind him last time in the mile, even though he was beaten a length and a quarter. Waikuku, winner of this race a couple of years ago. Russian Emperor comes back in trip from the 2000 to the 1600 metres. Healthy Happy is second up. He was the winner of the Group 3 Chinese Club Challenge Cup when fresh, and he goes from the 1400 up to the 1600 metres. And King Shield down the bottom. He's had 1 turf placing in 17 appearances. So we start with the speed map here, Nick, and where does the champ settle?
Well, he's going to get back, isn't he? I think that's his usual running pattern, this horse. Obviously, there are a couple of runners in the race, the likes of Healthy Happy and King Shield, that look confirmed front runners. You've got the likes of Waikuku, who's likely to be sort of right on the pace. But with only a small field, Tom, I imagine it shouldn't be too difficult for them to find their positions.
No, it shouldn't. And there was all that talk in the international mile around Golden 60's gate there when he was in gate number 2, with everyone saying ideal. In the end, Vincent Ho, cool, calm and collected. It did not matter one iota the draw at all. I don't think it'll matter here either with barrier number 1. He'll get off the fence at the right time, which appears to be sort of for Golden 60 about the 650 metres. Healthy Happy and King Shield will set up the pace. It'll be interesting to see how quick they want to go, because we know King Shield likes to go forward. He got involved in a speed battle last start on the all-weather, and it didn't work out well for him at all.
Absolutely. Now, it's a good horses race, Tom. There's the past winners. Golden 60 looking to make it 2 in a row, and Waikuku can make it 2 out of the last 3.
Yeah, he was a strong winner a couple of seasons ago now. Waikuku, of course, Beauty Generation, Seasons Bloom, going back to 2018. He was a good horse for Danny Shum. But Joe Moreira has been able to win it on a couple of occasions in the last 5 years.
Well, the man that is in the hot seat, quite literally, is Vincent Ho. He's looking to guide Golden 60 to another victory. To gauge his confidence levels, Nick had that all-important chat at track work yesterday morning.
Vincent, another very exciting weekend coming up for you and your best friend, Golden 60. I imagine you're very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I've been working well, so for sure looking forward to it. Another small field, so, yeah.
And just on that win on International Day, Vincent, take us through that again if you don't mind. Obviously, it was a huge performance. They came to try and take him on. The locals haven't been able to touch him, and the internationals weren't able to either. I mean, it was a super win that day.
Yeah, age of 6, I think he is, even better than before. mentally, physically. So yeah, it was a good performance that day for sure.
And just on his trial, now he obviously ran third to Wellington in a recent trial. Obviously there was plenty of excitement around that. Were you and the team very much, pleased with the performance he was able to put on?
Yeah, we just make sure he got a good stretch out and he feels happy himself, and he always does on the grass. So as long as he's willing to do it, we're happy.
He had a recent gallop with Stock Legend, a stablemate. He came through that very well also. Have all the boxes been ticked now in preparation for the weekend?
Yep, all done for the week. It's just, ready to race.
Is he a horse that's developed with time, Vincent? I mean, you've obviously had a great association with him. You've ridden him throughout his career. Is he a horse that's sort of changed over time? Have you noticed any changes with him, or is he the same Golden 60 that he's always been?
I'd say he matured up. Can't say he changed a lot, but definitely got matured, and not just physically. Every after summer, he get a bit bigger, and mentally he's more mature, settle more. He know what to do in the morning and in the race. So yeah. And
obviously, I can't chat to you without asking about a certain record. Obviously plenty has been made of it, and rightly so. I mean, this weekend, should he win, he'll equal the great Silent Witness. I imagine you as a younger man were watching that horse and thinking, wow, wouldn't it be nice to ride one like him? Any feeling on the record itself, or is that something that you're just taking your stride?
No, no record in my mind at the moment. Just one race at a time.
He's a very, very laid-back man, is Vincent Ho, Tom. Now, here is the head-to-head record, Silent Witness and Golden 60, and the details on screen.
Yeah, Silent Witness Court had 29 starts for 18 wins. Of course, he won 17 of them in a row. The prize money with inflation things and stake money increases probably doesn't matter so much, but he's getting towards the $100 million mark this weekend, Mark, and with 6.84 heading towards the winner's check here. He's going to knock that off this weekend too.
Absolutely. We'll get your selection shortly. I'd imagine both of you will be for place money only. We'll start, Nick, with some of his opposition. This is Russian Emperor, who won a very cheeky race last time in the Hong Kong Cup, but he does come back to the 1600 metres here.
Yeah, so I've got that as a slight concern, to be honest. I think he is a better horse over a bit more ground, and he proved it on this occasion. Look, he's run some good races. He was also very good in a derby last year, wasn't he, as well? So, look, he's a Galileo. Look, he'll run his race, I think, but he is a horse, I think, who wants the 2,000 metres.
Yeah, he's been improving certainly in his last few runs. A 10-start maiden still here in Hong Kong, but I've also got concerns like Nick over the 1600 metres, so I don't have him in calculations here. He only got headed inside the last 100 there, but 1600 metres is an uphill task, I feel.
Loves Only You, the winner of the Hong Kong Cup. Healthy Happy, Tom. Now, he resumed with this win in the Group 3 last time. He bypassed HKIR Day. He's going to be on the speed. What about him up to 1600 metres?
Yeah, look, I'm going to keep him safe. He's in the top four as Healthy Happy. Sat second, sat behind Buddies here, hit the front of about the 250 metres as we're watching now, and won nicely. Yes, it was a lesser quality field here. He beat Nick, but up on the speed, he can be very dangerous, I feel.
He certainly can. Look, he's drawn nicely as well. He's upwardly mobile, and this was a good, tough win. He goes to another level this weekend, but you can't fault it.
He does have that extra run under his belt. Now, off to the trials we head here. Nick, this is Sky Darcy. That's Skyfield in front of him. Sky Darcy follows him into the trial. His last start was a 9th behind Golden 60 over the 1600 metres. Can you see any sort of scenario where he can beat Golden 60, or at best he's playing for a place?
I'm finding it hard to make a strong case for him to beat him, Mark. Obviously, this trial was very good. They're putting a visor on as well for the first time, which is interesting. I just feel he's gone off the boil a little bit, this horse, Tom, in recent runs, but perhaps the headgear will spark him back into life. But we know he's a very good horse.
Absolutely. I haven't got him in the top four in the end to Sky Darcy. I was a little disappointed with him last start, and I just wonder if he's looking for a little bit more ground now with Sky Darcy.
All right, he's not quite the horse that won the Derby. Golden 60 on top. Tom, who's in for second, third and fourth?
Yeah, he's clearly on top for Golden 60, the horse to beat. I've got number 3 in for second, Waikuku. I think that's the Quinella or the forecast. More than this has to go in as well, and Healthy Happy. So 1, 3, 2 and 6.
Yeah, Golden 60, hard to go past him, really. He is the one they've all got to beat, and I think that's been evident in recent racing. More than this to chase him home, as he has done on 3 occasions prior. Healthy, happy, and a From Waikuku as well. 1, 2, 6 and 3.
And the champ runs at 4:05 Hong Kong time. So that's the 2 Group 1s, Tom, that we've previewed on the show. What about outside of those races? Who are some of the other 8 winners?
Yeah, well, the first race is down the straight over 1,000 metres. I think we can kick things off with El Jefe in the first race of the program. There are a few newcomers in that race. E-Stars in the second race. I think he can win. That's the Class 2 race. Cha John, I think he might come up at a price, and he's not been too far away. You've got Excellent Daddy. He's had some tough runs recently. Has Excellent Daddy. Darcy Joy, Leslie, and I don't mind Entrusted in the 2,000 metre race with Circuit Mighty, maybe some value in the last.
And you can see a breakdown of each and every one of those races at hkjc.com and click on audio and video. Best bet time, Tom, and we'd start with yours.
Best bet for me comes up in the 8th race with the horse 4 Leslie. Good debut from him. Zach Purton jumps on board here for Ricky Hughes, so I think he can win. And Circuit Mighty, some value in the final race. Drawn nicely, should get a similar run to last start, and he'll come up at each way price. The play with Jumbo Fortune, Excellent Daddy and Rock Your Heart, the QQP in race number 5.
Yes, I've gone with Satanta in race number 2. Karis Teaton on board. Good debut run at Happy Valley. I think he can go a couple of places better this time around. And the long shot, Star Bright, ridden by the same man, Karis Teaton, in race 10. He's improving with every start, and last time wasn't too bad. The play, race 4, I've gone 2, 4 and 5, the numbers there.
First starter for Tony Cruz, a Jumbo Fortune. Joe Marira takes the ride. His trials have looked good. He comes here with a good credential. So race 5, number 1. Intrepid Winner had no luck last time. He ran on well on debut over the 1,600 metres. He's group placed over 2,200 in Australia. And an all-up race 4, number 4, Millennium Falcon into race 5, number 1, Jumbo Fortune. So that has been Racing to Win. Nick, thanks for jumping in off the sub bench for Paul. And tomorrow there might be 10 races, but it's all about one horse.
It certainly is. It's all about Golden 60.
Yeah, it certainly is. Again, shame there'll be no crowds here at Sha Tin, but tune in for the coverage. It'll be terrific.
And you can join us live from Sha Tin tomorrow from 12:30 local time. On behalf of the Racing to Win team, bye-bye.